Listen, it's crazy out here, baby. Listen, don't worry about me. I'm putting my hoodie on. And listen. Welcome, guys, to Little Black Book 91. I'm just trying to show off my arms. I'm not gonna lie to you. But we'll talk to you guys about blue therapy. It's crazy. This episode was mad. As mad as me putting on my hoodie, right? Listen, let me be real with you. Okay? There's a lot that's going on in this particular episode. I want to break it all the way down. It's Listen, I want to say this very straight. Throughout this episode, the same thing I want to say from last week, which is a lack of accountability, people devaluing each other by the way they speak, people giving ultimatums, doing power grabs, people being disrespectful to one another. That's why they're here at this particular therapist, right? Because a lot of these people don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to communicate without it becoming an actual where you're trying to hurt the other person. We've got people lying about friendships that actually they're still they're saying they're best friends but lying about it. We have people who obviously in the show are pretty much they how do I say this in the sense of they having issues in terms of trust. And that's creating issues. We've got another couple where they're having a power grab between the two of them. And so there's just so many different issues that are going on. I want to break it all the way down for you. I know if you haven't watched it, I'm going to try and provide as much clips as much as I can for you guys without it getting copywritten like last time. So we're going to do our absolute best for you guys who haven't watched the show, because I know a lot of you Americans can't watch it. We're going to try and do our best for you from the beginning of the show for you, all right? So we're going to try and break down each couple bit by bit, okay? If you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. We're going to get deep into this video, okay? We're going to get deep into this video. We're going to break it all the way down. Let's get into this. I don't want to waste much time for you, baby. Okay? All right? Let's get into this.
Come on, you know me now.
I'm going to go back and forth with you today.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So since we last saw each other, how have things been?
All right, before we go anywhere, we got Maria and Tunde. Okay, now their biggest issue, Maria and Tunde, I wrote down their issues. Their issues is trust. That's one of their biggest issues. Trust is a big issue. He feels like she goes on holiday and she's going to cheat. She's going to do mad things because she's on social media, but then doesn't post. She posts up videos of her in a posh or a luxurious car with a chauffeur, and there's only 2 seats in the car. Now, I can see where he's going with it, but it don't really make sense. Because in all honesty, some of these luxurious cars can't have more than 2 people in it anyway. A lot of these cars do not have more than 2 seats. A Lamborghini got the 2 seats, baby, ain't got 4. So why would there not be a chauffeur in the driver's seat and she be in the passenger seat? I get why he might feel some type of way, but the logic isn't logicking. So there's no real point of him having a beef about this particular issue, right? So here's their issues. Maria and Tunde, here's their issues. They have a lack of accountability from Maria because of her actions towards the best friend that he has. There's a devaluing of each other's friends. I'll show you this all in point. He believes she's cheating when she's overseas. She disconnects her phone, or at least doesn't answer her phone on purpose when she's overseas. And there's trust issues that he has towards her, right? And also he doesn't emotionally cover her in the relationship. So we're going to break those particular 5 points down and give you guys a little bit of an idea in terms of why this couple is having issues at this moment. Hopefully I can get the right times because I want to be able to see this. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay.
Friend always has something to say about our relationship. I had to let him know, stay out of my business. And yeah, it could have resulted to me
What
throwing
exactly
a
was
little
happening then?
drink at him.
Or what at him?
Glass of water.
Okay, so it's quite major then.
I wouldn't say it's major. I would just say I was.
It's very, very major. This is assault. I just want to let you know, sis. It's abusive behavior to do what you did, but it's assault, really. You took a glass of water and threw it at his boy and then threw the glass after. Now, the glass was nowhere near him. It was never going to reach him. But you threw the glass of water and a glass at him. So the water actually hit him. So if you can sit there and you don't realize the extent of your behavior, that you were pushed to a limit, that you wanted to throw an object at somebody, you are lacking accountability. Number two, I totally understand that you might have been frustrated and even hurt by the fact that the best friend isn't giving you respect, or the best friend isn't showing you love, or the best friend isn't respecting you as a girlfriend of his friend. I actually get that. It's painful, it's hurtful. And actually, really, it says bigger things about the man that you're actually dating if his best friend can't respect you. Cool. I'm down with you, sis. What we cannot do is then, in the midst of that, make excuses for you throwing a glass of water, throwing a glass at someone, and it's even his best friend, and thinking that this is okay, and thinking you're justified in doing so. You're not. You're not. And you're ruining the fabric of your current relationship, because every time you beef with the best friend, you lose. Because that best friend, listen, most times, most people are going to choose their best friend over you. When I say choose, what I mean by that is, yeah, they might choose you now, but when something happens and it goes wrong with you, they're going to be like, I knew I should have never let my best friend go. And they're going to resent you. And that's going to make you have a loss long term. There ain't no point. Right? Now, if you have problems with a best friend, it's better to bring it up than to start attacking him, because it ain't gonna work. Now, this works both ways, because in all honesty, this shouldn't be happening in the first place. As a friend, as your man, Tunde should be letting his friend know, hey, that's my girl. Know that there's levels. Don't let it ever get to a part where it's madness. But she's the one that was actually in the blame for this particular issue.
Say I was provoked.
No, I hear you on that, but it's like, at the same time, there was no need for it to get physical.
So what exactly happened?
Well, T runs back to his friends, feels like he has to go and report every single detail about mine and his relationship. And now it gives his friends the right to feel.
Now, she said something. She said, because you know what? They provoked me. Baby, provoke should not allow you to be in a space where you are going to... He never provoked you, actually. To be honest, it was a conversation. You both disagreed. And, it was a little bit of an argument, but it never got to a point where you felt like you were going to dash a glass at him or glass of water at him. Never. And that tells me that you're lacking the ability to regulate yourself appropriately in a manner that an adult should. If you can get to a point, man or woman, where you can throw an object at somebody, you've lost control. You've lost sight and discipline of yourself, and you're willing to cause injury to get your point across. Well, I get it. You're frustrated. I get it. You're hurt. But let's not do that. And because you're a woman, you took advantage of the fact that, two, you dash a glass of water in his face. You took advantage of the fact that you're a woman. You took advantage of the fact that you're not a man, and you doing that to another man would end up in a fight usually. See, he can't fight you. Right? He can't fight you. He's not allowed to fight you. Right? Because you're a dude. Sorry, you're a woman, sorry. So he can't fight you. And so for me personally, I'm like, yo, that's kind of like disrespectful, right? For you to take advantage of that moment where you know that he is a friend of your man, and it's taking advantage of the fact that you know that he has to respect you as the woman of his boy, right? But you took advantage of the fact that being a woman, you know that, you know what, I'm going to dash this drink and nothing will happen. Nothing should happen because I'm a girl. But that again, if you were a dude and you did that, this would end the fight. Don't take advantage of your position. Don't take advantage of the fact that you have this advantage to be able to do something and get away with it. It's not going to work long term for you in a relationship. Your boyfriend's going to pay attention to this, and it will come back up a little bit later on, right? So that's all important stuff, right? But her using that I was provoked as a reason why she threw a glass of water, you weren't provoked enough to throw a glass of water, sis.
To feel like they can talk on me or have an input in mine in his relationship. So obviously I thought, yeah, I've seen souls, he's right in front of me. So I thought, yeah, let me ask him, what's your issue with me?
You know what, yeah, my friends, they all have their reservations about Maria. They just think that she's up to no good a lot of the time.
Now, of course, the reason why he's not defending her from this position, he's meant to defend her from the fact that, this comment about, my friends don't actually, respect, or at least show you the respect that they need. And the reason why is because clearly you believe them. You agree with their sentiment and their point of view. You agree that the fact that she's shady when she goes abroad. So you're not going to defend her from that point of view. Problem is, you leave your girlfriend exposed, which will leave your relationship exposed. By not defending your girlfriend from your boys, you actually leave your relationship exposed, which means that now anybody can attack at that relationship. So you're not actually benefiting long term in your relationship. You might think you're doing her, but you're doing your whole relationship a disservice. Defend your wife in public, and when you go behind the scenes, okay, when you go behind the scenes, you then in that position have to say, hey, do you know what? I'm gonna address you behind the scenes. You get me? You address people behind the scenes. Don't address people in public or in front of your boys and not back your partner, because that is leaving your relationship exposed emotionally and mentally. And that leaves room for other people to speculate, to say stuff, to make rumors, and to inject poison into a relationship. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The time.
Up to no good.
She portrays herself in a certain way, and obviously
As
they
what? A girl
feel
living
like
her life,
I, basically can do better or something like that, or maybe physical with a guy. If he had punched you in retaliation, what would you expect me to do? This guy's a boxer, he's a trained boxer. You think I'm gonna fight? He'll beat me and you up together.
Now, of course, probably not the best thing to say, but I understand what he meant. He's like letting her know, and this is what I'm saying to her again. He's letting her know, darling, don't you ever put me in a position like that where I may need to fight. First and foremost, I wouldn't win the fight. Right? Now, whether you like it or not, in the end, he wouldn't win that fight. He's letting him know, listen, my boy is a boxer. I'm not going to win that fight. Don't put me in a situation where I have to defend you physically when it can be avoided. And it could have been avoided. She didn't need to throw the glass of water. She didn't need to throw the glass at the brother. She could have left it as it was, but she didn't want to. She took advantage, did it, and again, there's no repercussions for her. So she will do this again. Potentially, right? Because there's been no repercussions because the gentleman decided not to retaliate. He walked off. Right? Now, someone else might not have done that. And that's what he's letting her know. Hey, look, you can throw a glass of water, throw a glass, whatever, and some people might not retaliate. Someone else might do that. Another guy might end up hitting you, and then you want me to jump in and save you? Of course, I can do that, but now know that we're both getting beaten up. And I don't want to be in that situation. That's foolishness. Wisdom will tell me to make sure that we prevent rather than we have to cure. Right? So that was one of the things that was happening with them. I wanted to probably fast forward it a little bit back to another part of theirs.
Are accusing you of what?
I like to travel a lot. T knows this. I travel, like traveling is my thing. But for some reason, him and his dumbass friends always have something to say.
Now, did you hear what she described his friends as? Him and his dumbass friends. This is what we call devaluing. You don't want to be doing this in a relationship. Hear me out. You do not want to be devaluing your partner, your partner's friends. It removes some of the foundational building blocks of respect within your course of relationship. By you insulting his friends, you're insulting him. By him insulting your friends, he's insulting you. Because that is your choice of friend who you believe to be loyal and to be a good representation of you. You believe that person to be good, kind, loving, whatever. They are your friend. They are part of your team, a part of your environment, part of your circumference. So by him or by her disrespecting that friend and saying that dumbass friend of yours, it actually speaks more volumes about me because you're saying that I'm dumb and too for choosing that person as a friend. It never is a positive thing. This devaluing ruins your relationship. Do not be insulting of your friends, your partner's friends. It is not a way to win that person over, and it's not a way to build a bond and a bridge between two people who are meant to be in a relationship together.
Girl, she goes on holiday more than me. I don't mind, but it's just how she moves when she's out there that I don't like.
Do you ever worry about what he's up to when he's away?
She wouldn't be worried because she can always get through to me. She calls me.
Now, the biggest issue they have here at the moment is that he's talking about the trust issue, but he's talking about when she goes on holiday, the big difference between me and you is I can't reach you. Now, why is this an issue if you're on a holiday? Well, because relationships require communication. And part of that communication is that we talk, right? And so if I can't get through to you while you're on holiday, this might begin to seep into the relationship a distrust. Why? Because I begin to question what you're actually doing. But then the question might be said to, why is your first thought to go to distrust? Why doesn't it not go to maybe you're hurt or she's sick or something has happened to her? Why does your first thought go to she's out here cheating in the streets? Well, because already your mind is tarnished with the idea of her being stepping out of the relationship. The idea has already been planted in your head. This is just further information that's going to make you think that way. Because if her phone is turned off, why not think that maybe something's wrong with her? But your instance is that she's actually doing something. That should speak volumes about what you've experienced and what you see women as or the world as.
Answer, you know what I'm saying? When she's out of the country and she's with that dumb friend Amy,
there's no need. Like,
it's a myth. Get through to her. It's not happening.
Now you notice that immediately when he called her friend dumb, she was like, "Don't do that, don't do that." Immediately she covered. Why? Because she didn't like it. Simple as. It's disrespectful. So why would you do it to him? You went and said he's got a dumb friend, but you didn't complain when you get called a dumb, when your friends get called dumb too. Why are we not realizing that our behavior, we have hypocritical behavior here? You're okay insulting his friend, but when he insults yours, you have a problem. I mean, it's fine. I mean, listen, but again, this again is a part of the dynamic of this relationship and why it's suffering at the moment.
It's not happening.
So if the communication was better, that might help.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm on holiday for a reason. I want some me time.
What do you mean me time? There is no me time. We're together. If I call you, there's soap in your eye, you better run to pick it up. Or I'm telling you.
Now, she said she wants some me time, and I think that's quite intriguing because where she's actually going with this conversation is actually saying that she intentionally misses his calls. Now, of course, relationships do need a little bit of space, but we need to communicate that before. If we're going to do this and say, hey, look, you know what? I need just a day or two where I don't think of anything else, but just thinking about, just want to get my head clear. Then you've communicated that ahead of time. But taking a holiday, taking 2-3 days, or whatever, not really picking up your phone and the person can't get through to you, you're asking to set a precedence of distrust in your relationship. You're embedding the seed in your relationship. And really and truly, you're in a relationship. So there is no space, there is no me time where I can't talk to you for days unless you agree upon this before you leave. And since you haven't agreed to it, she's wrong. She's in the wrong for doing this behavior again. And yet again, there is no apology. There's only, well, about me. There's a lack of understanding that it's not just about you. You're in a relationship. In a relationship, it's not just about you. But you're solely focused on Tunde and his behavior, which I agree with. His behavior is not also exemplary. But in this instance, when you're wrong, why do both of them, when they're doing the wrong, not be able to see that they're misaligned here and they've missed something? And this is why relationships suffer, because both parties are unwilling to really be self-aware and introspective. In fact, all it takes is one person not to be that way and continue, and the other person to be that way for the relationship to begin to suffer. Right? Why am I not getting through to you?
But do you feel uneasy when you can't get through to her?
Yeah.
And what goes through your mind then?
Lots of things, like, you know, what she could be getting up to. Or...
So, okay, yeah, you can't get through to me. I've already explained to you that I don't have Wi-Fi.
There's no way you're not going to have Wi-Fi in your hotel. There's no way you're not there's no Wi-Fi. Listen, there's no way there's not going to be Wi-Fi in a restaurant. There's no way there's not going to be...
There are times when the Wi-Fi is slow in restaurants, like I'm not...
Now, if she's speaking to you in the hotel with the Wi-Fi, then bro, you are getting through to her. Okay, so what we're gonna need is now specifics, because what we're now doing is playing cat and mouse, and we're playing police and robber. Because now you're telling me that I call you and it's the Wi-Fi, but in the hotel there's Wi-Fi. Now she just replied by saying, hey, look, I do talk to you when I'm in a hotel. You're absolutely right, I do talk to you when I'm outside. Sometimes a restaurant does not have Wi-Fi. What does this mean? It means this. What they need to do in this instance is before, when she goes out, if she's going somewhere she knows that the Wi-Fi might be down, just let him know, hey, the Wi-Fi might not be strong where I'm going to next. So if you do call the next few hours, I'm going to be out. I won't be able to get through you. Now, a lot of couples go on, maybe someone goes on a holiday or solo holiday, and because they already have a built-up trust, this doesn't become an issue. It's an issue because there's already distrust in the relationship. Yeah. Her Highness says she couldn't be in a relationship with somebody she had to be in contact with every single day. Wow. Well, I guess you can find your person who will be cool with that. You should be able to talk. I feel like you should be able to talk every single day. But you know, so she needs to communicate that before they get there. That's all. So but when she's leaving, before she leaves the hotel, she knows that Wi-Fi might be down. She needs to drop a little message and say, "Hey, babe, I'm going somewhere at the moment. I may not have much Wi-Fi connection. So if my replies are slow or my replies are off or I don't reply at all, it's because there's not much connection where I'm going to." It's simple one-on-one communication. But the reason why it's not getting done is because we don't practice these things. Number two, we feel entitled, and this is generally, we feel entitled to live in the way that we want to live it. If anything, we're saying, you got to deal with it. I'm going to behave how I want to behave. But you can't do that in a relationship. You have to think about the other person. So if you know you're going out and there's low Wi-Fi somewhere, you need to be communicating before you leave. Like, hey, there's potential for the Wi-Fi to go down. That's all. Next few hours. Right? That's all. That's what it needs. Nika B said it sounds like resistance of power, seems like an insertion for power, resistance of power. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. With the two of them, him trying to insert some power and she trying to resist it.
Like, these are the things. If I say it's like he makes it seem like I'm always, yeah, but he makes it seem like I'm always lying. Like nothing I can say is good enough to him, you know.
Have you ever given him reason to be concerned?
Let me tell you this now. If she's in America, there's no way she ain't getting no Wi-Fi. In fact, forget Wi-Fi. If you're spending $15K on a holiday, there's no way you're telling me you can go to America and you don't have a connection. You spend all your money on what? A $15K holiday, but don't spend a quick $50 on buying a SIM card that will allow you to have connection and when you're outside of a hotel. Is this what you're telling me? Are you telling me that you spend $15K, you can spend $15K on a holiday, but you don't want to spend $50 or £50 to buy yourself a SIM card that when you're out, you can have connection wherever you are? Where's our priorities? And better yet, I see why this might look like a problem. I can see why this might be an issue. Because it's looking like negligence and it's looking like purposeful neglect in the relationship. And actually, she goes on to prove that she actually is ignoring his calls. She just feels she wants a bit of separation from him, right? Which is fair. I understand. People get into relationships and they want a bit of a break from their partner. It does happen. It's normal. It's human.
No, I don't even know where this is coming from.
What do you mean no? Are you tapped in your head? She's snapping people driving her around in Ferraris and Lambos.
Yeah.
Who's that?
At this point, it's not none of boy. We don't talk about the show for because it doesn't even make sense. I'll be honest with you.
What's the issue? For some reason, what do you think it is then? Oh, so if it's not chauffeur, who is it then?
Well, you tell me.
I've told you it's a chauffeur. So, are you happy with that? Tunde's trust.
So their trust issues are a bit mad because he thinks that she's out there on holiday with her next man. I don't know if she's actually doing that. I don't know. Can't tell by the first few episodes like that. But what I would say is, again, if they want to avoid issues, communicational 101 is important. To speak up, to converse, to let somebody know ahead of time is a part of great communication. I know sometimes myself that I have poor communication at points in time, and actually it's born from my emotionally dismissive attachment style. Now, if you're somebody who's like your attachment style where you're dismissive, you might want to be very careful, right? Because what you end up doing is you end up trying to create distance between a person and yourself, and you don't like being controlled. But the reality is you need to communicate with your partner to let them know where you're at. But for the dismissive person, it feels like you're trying to control them. But in reality, what you really need to realize is that communication of letting a person know where you're at is actually a part of bonding, and it's about of also them keeping you safe and them feeling like you're still connected to them. You should not be disconnecting completely in a relationship to a point that you're not texting or calling or whatever, right? There should be.
Make me not believe her. Like, there's no way you're gonna tell me against chauffeur in a two-seater car.
Denise, like, what can I say? You're here with.
You ever done that?
No. Well,
no.
This.
Obviously, it is. So you see me calling your phone.
To be honest,
you see my number on your phone.
Actually,
and you decide, I want to.
Now, this is very interesting because it gets to a point where she goes to explain about why she doesn't pick up his phone, and she doesn't even realize. Okay? She does not realize that by her not picking up the phone is causing issues. And instead of actually taking accountability and saying, do you know what? My bad. Do you know what? Let me work on it. she further digs her heels in and ends up revealing that she's actually doing it on purpose. She's avoiding his calls on purpose.
I want to understand this properly. So you see me call your phone, you see T on your phone, and you just ignore it. Is that what you're telling us?
Anyways.
Have you ever done that?
No. Well.
No, obviously she has.
How would you feel if Tunde did the same thing as you're doing when you're taking me time and disconnected from you when he was on holiday?
Yeah, the silence is loud. Can't lie to you. And the reason why the silence is loud is because she actually outed herself. She was basically saying, you know, I do it because I want to be able to relax. I'm on holiday. I'm trying to relax. So what you're basically saying is when he calls, you don't feel relaxed. And I think that's also another big thing. You know, I think there's also a big thing as well, which is she's identifying that him calling her is disturbing her peace. The question that needs to really be asked is, why are you ignoring the calls? And what is your peace? Because clearly the reason why you're ignoring it is because he disturbs your peace. You're ignoring it because he disturbs your joy, your fun. While you're on holiday, you're trying to relax. So when he calls you, you are losing your relaxation time. Why is that? She needs to answer that herself too. Why is it I'm dodging his calls? Now, it could be that she's having sex with somebody else, but it also could be the fact that, you know what? She wants space. Could be also too. It doesn't have to be that you know she's cheating or anything. It could be that she wanted space. Right? She wants space. Again, I don't agree with it. It's wrong. Right? She should be communicating. It's wrong.
Both sides.
No, because I've not given her that many reasons to not trust me. She, on the other hand, there's just always something. One of my friends flew into London from Atlanta. He was meant to go out that night, but I had to.
All right, this situation is quite interesting, right? It's probably one of the last things that for their particular couple, but it's interesting because what they are saying in this instant, he has a conversation about, I guess, a situation where his boy came from Atlanta and came to UK, and in UK he end up saying to him, "Oh, I started talking to a couple of these girls, and you know, I got the contacts of some mutual people, whatever." And in that situation, his boy had her contact details for social media. It's not looking good, bruv.
The kids, so I couldn't go out. And I met him the next day. I've gone to his hotel just to chill. And he was showing me that the girls that he kind of met in the club. He's like, you lot are mutual friends with one of them. So I'm like, mutuals? All right, cool. Let me see this girl.
So you're going to end up saying that, you know what? They end up being in a situation where he found out that the mutuals was his girl. Yeah? Was his girl. It's political.
Go in it. And then lo and behold is, you know, my girlfriend. So I'm like, bro, that's my girl, you know. He's showing me the conversations. There was nothing sexual in the conversations, I must admit. But it was just...
So he admits the conversation didn't have anything sexual in them. There was nothing naughty in the conversation. But he's visibly hurt by the fact that his boy went out, ended up meeting this girl and got her details. Now her explanation is going to be quite interesting because she's going to explain it that, you know, there's a reason why he had her details. And to be fair, it was only social media. Now, can I be very honest with you? Do you know how many girls I've met that have a man that will give you a social media? They will tell you, "Nah, let me give my number, but not social. But I can't give my number, but I'll give you social media." Do you know how many girls I've met? I can't even play with you. I can't. See, women talk about men all the time, right? But the reality of the situation is, right, if you've got your shit together, you're a good-looking dude, you pay for stuff, you know, handle your business, I'm telling you now, there's too many gal that will not give you their number, but give you their social media. And it's underneath the guise of, well, you know, I didn't give my number, so it's not being bad. What do you think I'm getting your number for? What do you think I'm getting your details for? We can pretend all we want. What do you think I'm getting your details for? Because definitely wasn't to network. But if you want to call it networking, call it networking. Because I'm going to make your neck work. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, listen, like a lot of people do this. So yes, I wouldn't be happy. Why my girl giving that thing? But again, the reality of the situation is, again, under what guise was this details being given? Was a person saying, oh, you know, and look, let's be also honest too. There are times where sometimes it really is innocent and it is networking, right? It is networking and it's not your neck working. You know what I'm saying to you? Because sometimes when it is networking, it's going to be your neck working by the end. Now, but in this situation, you know, there are exceptions to the rule where someone is saying, let's say, for instance, let's say I do YouTube, which I do, and the girl's like, oh my God, like I've got a few contacts that would love to do interviews with you. Then in reality, I could share my Instagram or your number, and it's actually on the intention of a network. But they're about to explain it.
Just the fact that he was able to get her contact details.
No, sorry.
What?
He tells the story to anyone who cares to listen. Like, you already know on what basis I gave him my number.
And what was that basis?
It was on networking basis.
Maybe on a love and boyfriend that I am, I printed over like 200 business cards. There's no reason why she should be exchanging social media details with anybody.
Now, what if she's got business cards? What details on the business cards? You know, what's on a business card? What details are on a business card? What details are on a business card? Do you get me? What details are on a business card? The question is, we need to know what details are, because if the details are her number or her thingy, then we're arguing about something dumb here, because giving them your business card, they're gonna have a contact of yours. So unless there's an actual business number or business page or business whatever, there's got to be something so they can contact, right? Then yeah, this makes sense. So let's assume that a business card has business details on. What he's saying is, well, then you could have given him your business details. So even if you give your details out, it's not your personal details, it's a business details. Because remember, the gentleman has come and it's meant to be on a networking basis. Well, you got a business card, use the business card and give him the business card and let him have your business details. But let's be also honest. This just looks bad. Right? This just looks bad. The optics don't look good. That's the only thing about this. The optics don't look good because she got caught, right? She got caught with a person. But like I said, sometimes people just give out their number or give out their details away. And, you know, it's not meant to be that deep. It's not meant to be that so crazy. And I get it. Sometimes you're just having a good time and you're cool with somebody, or you meet them on a dance floor, or meet them at a place. You guys been vibing all day, or you met in a group. That happens. I meet people at the gym and I have a conversation and I'll be like, oh, look, I'm at the gym, and then I meet someone and then I talk to them and I'm like, oh, you got a man. Okay, no biggie. I'm not trying to move to you. I'm not trying to take over you. I'm not trying to spoil what you got. No. Why? But there are some people out here who generally will try to wreck your relationship. Like, it is what it is, right? So the optics don't look good because once she gave out her details, the story, no matter what she tells, is always going to look bad on her. Now, I hear what you're saying, Felicia, as well, that, you know, there's dangers there. You know, I definitely take that into consideration, that, you know what, on a basis where there is safety at hand, I'm gonna need you to give him the good old I got a boyfriend situation. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to give that, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to let him know, okay, that you got a boyfriend, okay? Because giving out your number to every single guy thinking that something could happen, we're gonna be in a long line of people that said, I've given your number to your girl. You get what I'm saying to you? I'm gonna need you to let him know you got a boyfriend and move it on. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah? Appreciate it. You got a man, move on. All right. I think that's the last of the episode.
Simply, business card, hand it over, done. If that was your so-called way of networking. Her giving my friend exchanging social media contacts, bro, we're basically moving like a whore, because that's some whore type shit. That's not, a loyal girlfriend will not move like that.
Now that's a bit heavy. The words whore, my brother, I want you to be very careful. Yeah? I'll be very careful. I would be very careful if I was you starting to call her a whore. Okay? I'd be very careful if you now gonna call your girl saying she's moving like a whore. Because remember, she's still your girl. Right? I am having for you to remember she's still your girl. So when you label her this, remember you're now devaluing her. And remember, you're still dating her. This is going to start breeding, a low self-esteem, a lack of self-worth. This can start breeding her feeling resentful and angry towards you. And these can build over time in a relationship and snap later on. You don't want to be devaluing your partner by calling them words like you're moving like a whore. That's madness. Have a level of decorum, have a level of respect, and have a level of understanding that this is your partner. And I need to find out ways to address certain issues in a particular way so that this doesn't devalue my partner. Doing what you're doing, this ain't it. You calling your partner these kind of names will only further derail your relationship.
Why did you make that correlation?
Are you really going to do this?
That's how I see it. If you're exchanging contact details with another guy,
really
knowing that you've got a man, basically, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's that she does things, and now she wants to get pissed off. Is that, bro? Why?
Now, listen, she might be a little bit guilty for what she did, but calling her a whore, calling her that she's moving like a whore, yeah, you're missing the point here, my brother. That you now saying that she's moving like a whore. What you're doing is you're trying to get to the heart of her. I don't want to see you do that, bro. Right? I don't want to see you do that. Because you're labeling her something, and this is somebody you're meant to care about. This meant to be somebody you care about, bro. And you're labeling her saying about you're moving like a whore. I just need to understand the damage you're doing long term in a relationship. All right. Let's move on to the next couple. Let's go back. Let's go to Sean and Ray, because their situation, madness.
Listen, I've been thinking, I can't lie. The way you're speaking to me during that session, I'm not having it. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't like the way you're speaking to me. Like, we're not on the same page. I'm done with these sessions. It's not working.
Now here we go. Sean and Ray. Oh my days. Volatile. Sean and Ray. The biggest issue is Sean and Ray. Let me give you some of their rundown of some of their issues so you can see overhead of their issues, okay? Sean and Ray. Okay. So some of the biggest issues, Sean and Ray, is his insertion of dominance rather than assertiveness. Her need to control and her anxiety as attachment style, I believe, right? Him fighting for respect and she's fighting to be heard. Their differences in ideas when it comes to modeling as an issue, okay? And then a lack of accountability on her part again for making a mistake and not apologizing. Like, it's very simple. And family, once more, again, he uses family as a battering ram. That is not healthy in a relationship either. Okay, so we're going to discuss this and break this all the way down. So we're going to just drop in here. Just seen here with Ray and Sean right now. What's happening in this situation is that Ray, in the last episode, got up, walked away, got in his face towards the end. In this situation with him, he is annoyed that he's not getting the respect. And so he ends up telling her that, hey, I'm not going to do this no more, basically. He's not going to do the therapy anymore. And she lets him know, well, if that's the case, well, then we don't need to be together anymore, because clearly you brought me here. And whilst I don't agree with ultimatum, I do understand that her issue in the ultimatum was about letting him know how serious she was and that she didn't want to play this game no more. And I get it. She wants to get off the ride. I feel it. I totally do get it. Right? Let's play a bit more.
For us, we're gonna find another way to sort the shit out because I'm not here for this no more.
So I'm sorry. I'm really finding it hard to understand why you're upset. Are you upset because you didn't get your way this time?
My way. It's not about getting my way. It's about you talking to me with respect.
So now, my biggest thing with this too is this. Both of them want something from the other person, but neither of them model what they want in the other person. Right? Both of them want something from the other person, but neither of them model the way they want it to be done. He wants the respect, but the way he just spoke to her just now, was that respectful? The way that you let her know, was that respectful? The way you spoke to her just now, was that respectful, or was that going to incite a fight? Right? She wants to be covered, protected, and cared for. The way you speak to him as a man, do you feel like you're going to get that? The way you speak to him and you retaliate, and the way that you speak out, do you think it's going to encourage him to want to protect you? It's not. So both of these parties want something, but neither of them are willing to give the other person what they need. Neither of them are willing to say, I'm going to surrender and serve you first. Neither of them want to be able to lay down their arms on the ground and surrender. Neither of them want to do that. So guess what? We're going to have a battle upon a battle upon a battle upon a battle upon a battle, right? That's going to keep on raging. Let's play.
You can't come in there and not talk to me with respect.
I was expressing myself to you because
you were talking over me. You didn't let me speak. You're being aggressive, like trying to walk out. I can't do that.
So because of that, you now want to quit. Something that.
Now the problem here is that he now wants to quit. Quit where? My guy, you cannot quit. My guy, we can't quit. You can't quit now. You said you wanted, okay, all right. You said you wanted to bring her you wanted to bring her to to counseling, to therapy. You wanted help in that instance. And because now, of course, don't get it twisted, she got up in your face and shouted, now you want to quit? Oh, no. You can't do it whenever it suits you to pick it up and dump it whenever you want. This is irresponsible, and this doesn't help the growth of the relationship. By you doing that, you're enacting power. Now, both of them are in a power struggle, these two. But by doing that, you are actually, you're coming out saying, I expect you to be a part of this counseling, this therapy. And then when it gets hard, or when it gets to a point where it doesn't suit you in that moment, you want to quit? No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, sir. Sorry.
You told me to come to you, now I want to quit.
Look, there's no other option because you're not coming to it with a respectful man, an open man. You're basically what enemies now, because
man said there's no other option. Why are you vexed when she gives you an ultimatum when you're giving her no choice? Right? Why is there's no, by you doing this, you're about to complain about her giving an ultimatum, but you yourself are telling her you have to do what I say. You have to quit because I'm not doing it no more. Well then, Captain, why are you vexed about her giving you an ultimatum when you're doing practically the same thing, just not an ultimatum? What you're doing is you're trying to usurp power through what you're saying. So by you saying, you know what, we're quitting the therapy, and you want it on your terms. And the fact that she offered you an ultimatum too, she's also trying to put it on her terms. But I understand where she's coming from, in the sense of what she said was, if you've brought me here, we're going to have to finish. Not only that, but me personally, not just finishing, but, if you're not going to turn up to these sessions, then trust me, we're done. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. And I ain't have to like it. Reality is she's realizing that the relationship ain't going to get no better until they do these particular therapy sessions. And if they begin to avoid these sessions right now, the relationship will never grow. It will never blossom. Because in reality, we're going to remain stagnant. Okay. It's crazy in the dunya.
We're not on the same team. Because even if we can fit this by ourselves, we don't do it at all.
Okay, that's fine. I'm telling you now, if you don't want to do therapy, I'm done. You're the one that dragged me to that place in the first place, and then I'm letting you know how I feel.
Now, you see, when it's thrown back in your face, it's not nice. This is why we don't do it in the first place. Nobody should be issuing threats in the relationship, especially if you're not ready for the threat to come back in your face and they're going to say some stuff that going to put you on a back burner and put you on a back foot. You don't want it. You don't want it. You don't want it. But you have elicited this particular aspect because you give a quote unquote, not necessarily an ultimatum, but you pretty much did. I'm going to quit if you don't basically do this. It's also an ultimatum almost in a sense. And I'm going to need you to chill on that. Right? I'm going to need you to chill on that.
And now you're calling me to tell me that you're not feeling it anymore. I'm telling you now, if we don't go to the other sessions, I'm done.
Not them playing the log drum behind the scenes like it's a Nigerian movie. You know what I mean? They're playing the drum like it's a Nigerian movie. Let's play it more. All right, cool.
Things up, one down with my toes 10. Flew out my boots out.
That
what finally made you coming in?
let's just get through this. Let's do.
Let me play this.
Maybe.
Probably I could have.
Oh
wow.
Nice of you to join.
Now, he wasn't going to turn. He felt like he wasn't going to turn up to the session, and so she was surprised that he turned up to the session, ahead of time. So, it was interesting to see that he turned up. The energy he turns up with is my problem again, because if you're going to turn up, my friend, I need you not to turn up. You go and turn up to the thing. I need you to turn up, but don't turn up. If you get me, you get me. If you catch my drift, you catch my drift. Yeah, Tokyo.
You're not Sean. How are you? Yeah, great. I didn't think you were coming, but happy to see you.
At least I made it.
Pause again. Why people do this? Both of them do this. Ad libs. People, please look. If you want your relationship to be healthy, stop freaking adding ad libs. Stop adding little smart comments. It's not pretty. It's not cute. It doesn't help your relationship. It shuts people down. Let's not do it. And it happens with both of them. It's not just one side. She just did it, but it's on both sides. Stop adding commentary. That is not going to aid your relationship. Stop adding it. Right? Let's stop doing that. Right? So as soon as obviously he said about the sitting down and why you made it, she starts immediately with on the front foot. And it's these little things you don't realize it's not big because you're not screaming and shouting. But it begins to deteriorate the relationship long term. The person's listening, they're remembering it. Trust me.
Consider yourself lucky that, man. You ever give me an ultimatum like that again in your life, yeah? That'll be the last time you see me.
So
the last time you
that's
hear
the
me.
first thing you go on.
Just let you know from
You're
the jump.
coming in.
Setting the present from the jump.
After yesterday.
Now he comes in, the first thing he wants to say is, listen, you're never gonna ever give me an ultimatum. You've come on 10. Well, do you want this session to work or not? You've come on 10. Cap, you've come on 10. Right? You've come on 10. I need you to chill it. Bring it down. You're at 10. I need to bring it all the way down to a 3. I need to bring it all the way down to a 3. I don't know what 3 is, but bring it all the way down to a 3. Because you're doing way too much. Now you are saying something back to her. You ain't never gonna, and that's why I talk about dominance versus assertiveness. Has he got a level of assertiveness that's enough from what we were saying last time? And look, you know what? I think he's struggling with her to have a level of assertiveness, because that would also require some level of balance in the way you deal with vulnerability and what you've actually experienced with people. You need a bit of balance, you know?
Okay. You're already on
That'll be the last time you hear from me.
Okay. What finally made you coming in?
I mean, I came because I feel like I respect what we have. I mean, I respect our relationship.
Well, that's nice to know. He came here because he respected, he respected, the relationship. And Esther said, why do you feel like he's overcompensating? Because probably he is. The age gap is a real thing. And he's probably trying to assert his dominance rather than his assertiveness. And assertiveness comes from a confidence from within. You're confident in self. You're confident in who you are. That's what comes out as being this assertiveness. But you can't have assertiveness if you don't know who you are, and you don't know where you come from, and you don't know what you're about, right? You can't have that confidence. And so with him, he's almost falsifying the confidence and trying to show her that I'm a big man, don't talk to man anyhow, anyway. Now he might be in terms of having kids, but that's about it. That's it.
I wasn't happy about the ultimatum, but I consider the feelings. Do you know what I mean?
He's here now, so we have to progress that into a place where he can understand what you're feeling and you can understand.
All right, let me move it forward because I want to get to a point where discuss something else and make sure I got the right part of the video as well, so I don't want any trouble.
She didn't post.
That's really interesting that he doesn't follow me on socials, but somehow he's here banging on about he didn't see nothing on my socials when I went to Paris. So were you checking up on me, Sean?
I mean, there's a reason I don't follow her on socials.
Were you check?
Now, it's interesting that he said that she went to Paris and she didn't post anything on her social media, but he doesn't have social media or doesn't follow her on social media. So why did he think that she was going to post something? I think the deductions that are being made in this particular instance is because there might have been some infidelity in his past. There may have been a distrust. Maybe he's the one that's normally cheating. And so he's already projecting on her. Because how is her going on holiday? Sir. Sir. Come on.
Checking up on me on what I was getting up to.
I mean, I didn't hear from you, so that was the only other way for me to know what you were doing. But she didn't even post. So, like I said, God knows where she was.
So let's go.
Was she ignoring your calls or something? Because again, it doesn't make sense. If she doesn't post, unless she was ignoring your calls and you didn't know where she was, or totally her not giving you the locations or the where you are right now. I mean, it's not the biggest issue. It's a part issue, but it's not the biggest issue. Do you know what I'm saying? I can see why it can be a big issue, but it isn't the issue. You know what I'm saying to you? So for me personally, I'm like, come on, these two. Come on, Joe.
The fact that you guys don't follow each other. Is there a reason for that? It's quite odd.
There's a clear reason why I don't follow her.
What's your reason?
Have you seen her Instagram?
No.
Now, before we get there, he wants to say about her Instagram. Her Instagram is raunchy, it's sexy, it's got this kind of like thing. And I'm like, I hear it. I'm not mad at it. Like, I totally get it. I understand what you're saying. Her Instagram is not for everybody, right? Here's the thing. You met her that way. So why are we changing it? You met her that way. You met her and she had bomb. You met her and she had bomb. You met her and she had Nayash. When you met her and Nayash was on the Instagram. So you got a choice. Accept it or move away. When you met her, she had Nayash, she had bomb. You understand what I'm saying to you? So why are we trying to change it now? You can't. That becomes control.
Ray takes a lot of like half-naked pictures, should I call it, on Instagram. It's a bit of an issue for me.
Now, I'll be honest with you. It is, and I'll play little things behind so you can actually see when they show her pictures and stuff. But, look, I get it. I don't want to, you don't want to see everything on the internet. You want your wife to have you want your partner to have a little bit of mystery, right? Of course, you want a little bit of that vagueness. You don't want too much being exposed. But when you chose her, this was her. After you lied about your age and you got in a relationship with her, this is also part of her hidden story, right? She's not actually necessarily doing anything. She's just kind of taking photos, becoming sweet with it. That's about it. But in reality, you complaining about the fact that she's out with other men or out with other people, and you feel like for her, she shouldn't be wearing such revealing things. Captain, how you met her is that way. You met her that way. You understand what I'm saying to you? You cannot change air. You get what I'm saying to you? You cannot change the girl.
When I started doing my Instagram, I started taking my pictures. It was my way of taking that control back.
Now, what control do you want to take back, sis? What control do you want to take back, sis? What control do you want to take back? You want to be able to supply the narrative. You want to be able to control and take the narrative for yourself. But what story is that you want to take back, sis? That means a deeper line of issues that I feel are going unnoticed, that are going unnoticed and not spoken about in episode 2. And episode 1, the same thing wasn't spoken about. There is deep lining issues with family that must be addressed. The family needs to be addressed. If that's not addressed, we're not going to get to the bottom of the reason why these two are here.
When you met her, was she already in that space?
I didn't know.
Oh, you met her face to face?
I met her face to face before I saw that.
Oh.
Did you ask for her Instagram?
I asked for it, actually. She showed me. But once we got together, I thought that would just change up.
Okay, so you met her with the...
Listen, why would you be a fool? Listen, when you met her, she had this Instagram. When you met her, her Instagram was the exact same as is now. She go and do some naked photos, some half naked pictures, ass cheeks out, plastered all over. You got her Instagram, and then you became a girlfriend, and then you thought it was going to change. Why? Why did you think it was going to change? What gave you the idea and the impression that she was going to change in a relationship? We needed to discuss this beforehand.
Instagram, but you thought things would change after you guys became an item.
Yeah. If anybody gets married, for example, right, you're not going to act how you act when you're single.
Yeah, Captain, I need you to stop that. You know, people acting as if they're going to be different from when they're married to when they're in a relationship. No, they're going to behave the exact same way. The ring is just a ring. It's just that, a ring. And so how she's acting now is how she's going to act in a relationship, how she's going to act in a marriage. You should know this. Now, I believe that obviously from you know, deep in it, you know, I think that he's trying to not say control in a bad way, but not necessarily that way. Like, he's trying to control the relationship, at least trying to have some level of dominance over the relationship. But it should be more assertiveness. Now, of course, if she, why would you think that she's going to change it in the course of the relationship, though?
Are going to change.
Okay, so you pretty much went in with the idea that things
will
possibly change
because no one's going to act the same way when you're single. You're not still going to be selling yourself, right, for the you know, for the public,
selling themselves,
right?
Now, again, another disrespect to him. He says, you know what? You know, you're not just going to advertise yourself and sell yourself for the highest bidder. Sir, remember, if you make it through these sessions, you've got to date these women again. You've got to still be with these women. You haven't officially broken up. So please, I need you guys to deep it. Stop devaluing each other in relationship. Stop devaluing each other by saying these things to each other in a relationship.
To go and pick you.
I'm selling myself.
That's basically what you're doing.
What I do on Instagram is called modeling. It's work. It's work. Modeling. I'm not just...
Now, she said obviously she's doing modeling on Instagram and it's work. I just need to see the pictures that are working. You understand what I'm saying to you? I just need to see the pictures that are working. But no, in all jokes aside, this is where the issue starts to get more complicated, because in this situation with them both, what's happening is he's afraid of abandonment. He's afraid that some other guy, some other dude will take his girl. Now, I don't know if he's actually seen that or whether the fact that he knows that because, you know what, it's happened to him several times. What, I don't know. But in reality, for, you know, these two, you ask her to change the Instagram, ain't gonna happen.
Doing it
modeling.
just for attention.
That's what they call it now.
All right, Ray.
Modeling.
Really?
Ray, tell us.
Wow.
So in your words, then you saying it's modeling, right?
So she says the modeling versus him saying that she wants attention. Captain, it's not a good dichotomy. I can't lie to you. Don't do that again. It's not a good dichotomy because it's hard to come back from there. If somebody sees how you treated somebody in a particular way, the person's going to try and avoid you. And that could be your soulmate. You never know. It could be the partner you like. I mean, it probably isn't anything. But what I'm saying is know how to treat people. So on your way up, you're winning. But on the way down, you're still winning because you know people are going to support you. My thing is this, you know, that they're having an argument about the relationship. And listen to this.
Work. Yes, okay, it's sexy. I can't help that, right? When him and I met, I've been doing that long before that. I was very, transparent about it from the beginning.
So if you got told this, again, why are we here? If you got told this, why are you stressing about it now, Cap? If she told you about this a long time ago, why are you stressing about it now? If she told you, why are you stressing?
To dumb it down a little bit if you're going to get into a relationship.
So you come from more of a tone it down.
Tone it down.
Says the same person who does modeling in his boxes. Tomato. I don't get it.
When he's speaking on my drip.
So you be doing the same thing and you complaining? The hypocrisy stinks. The hypocrisy stinks. How is it that you yourself are doing the exact same thing? You're doing modeling in to a point where you're doing it in your boxes, and you think that you're not doing nothing. Now, what? Because you don't do it every single time like she does, but you still have done it. So where's your grace? You've done the same thing. So why are you trying to make her the only villain in the situation?
My Instagram is very like fashion orientated. Ray's Instagram is a bit more lingerie-ish / sexy / OnlyFans looking. It's kind of the same industry, but it just looks completely different.
Well, are you open to tone it down for the sake of the relationship?
Let's see how all the session go first.
This man is fighting for his respect. That's the biggest issue. He's fighting for his respect, and he can't get it from Ray. She doesn't respect him. One, because he's younger, but he's younger because he's not accomplished yet to be able to have a level of authority from such a young age. When he gets older, he might have a better sense of it. But right now, doesn't have the authority because he hasn't presented correctly the path and enlightenment of the way to go, right? He's still young in his mind. She's the older person in this relationship. He's still young in mind. And he needs to get to a place where he can actually mature and actually get to a place where he himself reacts in a way that leads her to react in a better way. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be possible. I'm not even saying that, hey, look, if you do it for definite, she'll show it. But if you do it and she can't do the program, then you know to get rid of her. Right? Because you can't follow the basis that you have for the relationship.
If Sean wants me to tone down my socials, how about we start with him showing me commitment, showing me consistency? He can't just rock up and...
I want to even get to the end because of some stuff that was happening there too, right?
Just stop thinking about it, yeah. Like, she doesn't respect me. I'll tell you why she doesn't respect me. Because there was one time we were doing a shoot, yeah. Imagine, so she models, cool. And
now this situation here, old girl was gearing up the tears. She was gonna make sure she get tears. This is, for me, I don't like this stuff. If I call you out on your ish, let's not start the waterworks. If you know you're about to be held accountable, let's stop the waterworks. Yempeno. You don't need it. The waterworks are a sign of a lack of accountability too when you do it at a particular time,
also
right?
got people there. Man, them there, girls there, a little bit girls, but I guess more guys, right? And I'm there. She's getting changed, goes into the toilet, comes back out, and she's asking one of the guys to do up the back of her shirt.
Now, listen, I don't think there's anything bad that she actually necessarily did, but I get why it's bad because, again, optics. You have your man in this particular shoot, and he's just gone to a toilet, and he's coming back, and he sees your dress being done up by another man. I don't know what kind of dress it was, or how he was doing how the person was actually helping her. I don't know, but optics again. Things are about optics because it looks a certain way. That's why the Bible says, abstain from all appearances of evil. It looks some type of way.
I'm there. And you're asking another guy to do that. That's not even the end of it. She goes back in the toilet, comes back out, she needs to change her top. She takes off her top. And her tits are on show.
Not the titties be out on show. Listen, look, that's a very political situation because you're at, obviously, context is you're at a particular show. I'm guessing she's undressing to get dressed for another part of the show. I get, the fact that you're just in the space of just trying to be able to think about what you got to change into and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're thinking about the shoot that you're on. You're trying to think about your mind. Your mind can be taken away and distracted elsewhere. I get it. But sis, if you have a man, it's probably not the best thing to be asking another man to do up your bra strap or do anything like that from the back if your man's in the room. Choose him, ask him to help you out.
And I'm there.
I actually can't believe we're talking about this.
No, so the war works.
There was actually a lot going on. We were late to the shoot. There was a lot going on. I was getting to...
So she's going to tell us what happened. She's going to say she's late to the shoot, and that's what they were trying to, get everything together, right? Because they were late to the shoot.
It was awkward for me.
What about me?
How are you the victim?
Because you're disrespecting me for everybody else.
Literally, my mind was so scattered. I didn't see the men in the room. I didn't even know he was in the room. That's how much my mind was just all over the place. And that is literally all there.
It's not looking good, sis. You didn't see there was men in the room. You didn't realize before you got naked and showed your breast, darling. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I doubt you could be that so detached and that unaware. Now, I'm not saying you even did it on purpose. I think you might have done this unconsciously, but still, you got to hold that L. Yeah, babe, getting naked and showing your breast in a room of men. Yeah. Why would you want to undress in front of other men? Why are you comfortable undressing in front of other men? Think about it, darling. Why are you uncomfortable? Why don't you go to the toilet and do this? Why are you so comfortable undressing to a point where your breasts are on show in front of other men? Why are you comfortable like that, babe? Now, I'm not saying that people aren't comfortable. I'm not saying people aren't respectful. What I'm saying is when you know you got a man and you're, you know what I mean? Like, why is that even a thing where your brain is not even thinking to yourself, hold on, I got to make sure that what I'm doing here, why is your mind not being focused on the moment and being present? Why would you want to get naked? You know what I'm saying? Like,
there is to it.
Well played for
so please don't make me feel bad for that.
Like I said, she didn't apologize to me. She didn't say nothing.
It was awkward for me.
What about me?
How are you the victim?
Because you're disrespecting me for everybody else.
How was it awkward for her? I don't even know how she turned it on to him because she said, how are you the victim? But she said it's awkward for her. How is it awkward for you? You got naked in front of other men. How is that awkward for you, sis? You got naked in front of the other men. No biggie. I'm not even kidding you. You were undressing, but how was it awkward for you? You didn't even recognize the people were in the room. You said to us, you weren't even aware that people were in the room. So why? It's not adding up. It's not adding up. The math is not adding up.
It just makes me feel like
The waterworks.
Like, I know I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
I just feel like this is just an example of why I hesitate to even get into relationships because it's always
Bia, please, I beg Jaw. I beg Jaw. Okay, I beg Jaw. I beg Jaw. You know what I mean? I beg, please. Don't worry. Yeah, I've been some shoots as well. Connery, I've been some shoots as well. Yeah, and I do know, right? I do know. But when your partner is in the space as well, cognicity is important. Being cognitive is important. Being cognitive is important because you're out here saying it's awkward for me as well. Well, clearly it wasn't because you went and got undressed in front of people and didn't realize that maybe, do you know what, fam? Let me go to the toilet. But I'm just saying again, look, I'm not even trying to even say it's a mad thing. It's not even the maddest thing. It's not even the maddest thing. But what should have happened is if you feel like you've done wrong or the person feels like they feel like you've done wrong to them, apologize. You still had the time to try and turn this around on him rather than just apologizing. And that's something that Ray's going to keep on doing. She's going to keep on not taking accountability for the parts that she's played in something. Now, again, like I said, I don't think it's the worst thing ever.
I'm always been made to feel like, I don't know, I just feel bad about how I look or how I carry myself. And I'm tired of being controlled. I'm tired.
See, so she said here, I'm tired of being controlled. Sis, we just need you to apologize. That was it. Just say, hey, babe, I wasn't aware. I apologize. I wasn't aware. My mind was focused. I apologize. That's all. Not once we hear an apology. And he hasn't heard it before. He hasn't heard it now. He won't hear it tomorrow either. Just apologize and be like, hey, babe, I didn't even realize. My bad. I am so sorry. Let me move forward. Instead, she doesn't. Why? Because weakness is apologizing can be looked as weakness. And I get it. Her apology can be looked at as weakness, and therefore she doesn't want to give up that power by saying sorry. And that means there's a vulnerability issue. There's an emotional attachment issue. There's emotional issues in terms of availability, attachment, emotional covering. There's a lot that's going on in that space. I get it.
Tired of people telling me, of just everything to do with how I carry myself. Hence why, when I did Instagram, that was my way of taking my power, because I've just gone through it.
So the Instagram part, I'm not too fussed about, but again, obviously the barman and everything, that's up to her, really. I'm not really on that. And if he doesn't want it, he shouldn't have gone after it. But sis is telling us, hey, I'm going to take my power back. Well, sis, I need part of the power is also understanding as well how to be vulnerable with that power, because you've got to be very careful that you don't wield that power in a bad way. You'll be very, very aware of that, right? The tears are starting.
My whole life. And then for him to sit there and then feel like I will do that on purpose.
I'm not having it. Like, if she carries on like this, mate, then...
This should have been a simple sorry and move forward. We're not even doing that anymore. Now we've got the waterworks and saying, if you thought I did it on purpose, be simple put, just apologize and move forward. Instead, we're dragging it on. We're trying to flip it. We're trying to gaslight it. We're trying to project it onto another person. Just apologize and move forward and be free, sis. Why so far? Why suffer now? You understand what I'm saying to you? Why suffer?
We'll have to reevaluate this whole thing, because if you keep banging on about the OnlyFans and how you just want to kind of do your thing, you don't want to consider my feelings, okay? Like, I would never introduce this to my family. I'm just keeping it real. I would never, ever, ever.
Every time, brother, you're using it as a weapon. You're not me, my family. Sir, there's only so much you can use that as a manipulation tactic and tool before the person wakes up and smells the Kenko coffee. Every time something goes wrong, I won't let you meet my family. I won't let you meet my mom. Oh, you know what? Your mom and your sisters want to be like with me. Stop it. Relax, jaw. It's not every time you go straight to trying to penalize or punish or use ultimatums to do so. But you say, hey, meet my family. Again, cap. I get it, but I feel like it's a bashing over the person's head when we do that. And the person is never going to learn or grow when you do that to the person. There's one more couple, but I'm going to leave it because I'm a little bit tired, so I'm not going to lie to you. I'll probably drop a video for them tomorrow. But, I want to be very honest and very real, with Ray and Sean as well as an ending. They need to work on a few things, right? And I wanted to go to my notes. Family is a very big thing for her. So him throwing it in her face and going, about him kind of saying you're not going to meet my family, you're throwing it in her face and kind of using it against her. That's not pretty. That's not nice. That ain't it. But the lack of accountability in this moment by her crying rather than actually saying, hey, my bad, I'm sorry, is also alarming as well. Okay. All right. And again, he also too, just like Tunde earlier on, made her feel like she's a whore or a prostitute by doing what they do. And I'll be honest with you, you're devaluing your partner. You don't win this way. Okay, guys, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. I'll put a link in the chat. See if those who can. If you've got a VPN, you can watch it. If you don't, then you have to wait till tomorrow. There's a link for the show. I'll put a link in the chat. That's the link for the show if you want to watch it online. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. Ta-ra.